All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about a really practical, spiritual routine that can totally transform your mornings. The whole idea is to shift from waking up feeling like you're already on the defensive to starting your day from a place of real strength. And our guide for this? 5 incredible ancient solves.
Just think about this for a second. Do you ever wake up and you're already feeling behind, drained, anxious, maybe even a little defeated? Well, the point here is that the real battle for your day, it isn't lost at 3 p.m. It's actually won or lost in those first few critical moments after you open your eyes.
So, what's the game plan? We are turning to 5 incredibly powerful psalms that literally act like spiritual armor for your mind. And look, these aren't just pretty verses. These were the actual words that David, the shepherd boy who took on a giant, used to face his own battles. If they were powerful enough for him, just imagine what they can do for us. Okay, let's start with the very first part of the strategy, which is all about setting your course for the day. This is where you establish your direction, where you intentionally decide to accept guidance. And we're going to use Psalms 5 and 23 as our compass. Now, when we look at Psalm 5, we have to see it for what it is. This is not just a polite morning prayer. It's a battle strategy. David is being so intentional here, basically declaring who gets the very first word in his day. The key, the absolute powerhouse word here, is direct. It means to arrange, to set things in order. So what David was doing was literally organizing his thoughts, his plans, and his heart under God's authority before the chaos of the day even had a chance to get to him. He was setting his path before he even took a single step. And that brings up a really important question for all of us, right? Who or what is getting the first crack at your mind in the morning? Is it worry? Is it that endless stream of social media notifications, that massive to-do list? Or are you making the conscious choice to give that first moment, that first access to the voice of God, letting Him set your direction? Okay, now let's build on that with Psalm 23. A lot of us know this one by heart, and we usually think of it as being about provision, that God will give us what we need. And that's absolutely true. But what if it's about something even more fundamental? What if it's really about our identity? I mean, look at the definition. A shepherd is someone who leads, guides, and protects. So when you declare the Lord is my shepherd first thing in the morning, you are making a profound statement about who's in charge, who's guiding your steps, and who's leading you forward into the day. So let's get real. Who is actually leading your day? Is it the demands of your boss, the roller coaster of your emotions, the pressure of your bank account? Or is it your shepherd? Making that declaration first thing sets the tone for who is truly in the driver's seat. All right, so once your direction is set, it's time to put on your armor. This is where the next 2 Psalms come in, 91 and 27. These are all about establishing a perimeter of spiritual protection and arming yourself with some serious God-given courage for whatever you're about to face. Psalm 91 is really presented as the ultimate protection prayer. And this verse, wow, this is such a powerful promise. It's not just beautiful poetry. It's like activating a divine security detail over every single part of your day. And this is the key to unlocking it. You can't just think it. You have to speak it. Notice that active language, I will say. The source material makes it so clear that you have to declare it out loud. You're putting a voice to your faith, and you're activating its power before anything else gets a chance to speak over you. Now, let's move on to Psalm 27, which I like to think of as the direct counterattack to fear. You know how fear is just louder in the morning? It's when all those what-ifs start shouting for attention. What if I fail? What if this all goes wrong? Well, this psalm meets that noise head-on. And this brings us to such a critical reframing of what courage really is. See, it's not about never feeling afraid. Real courage is about proactively reminding yourself of the truth. It's about speaking God's word into your own heart before fear even gets a chance to whisper its lies. So now for the final piece of this morning's strategy. We've set our direction, we've put on our armor. The last step is to make a conscious, daily choice for victory. And for that, we turn to the powerful Psalm 118. I know, we've all heard this verse a million times. It's on coffee mugs, it's on posters, but its real power isn't in how familiar it is. It's in applying it as an active, defiant choice that we can make every single morning. And And just look at this comparison. It lays out the mindset shift so perfectly. On one side, you've got passively hoping for a good day, which totally depends on your circumstances. But on the other, you have actively choosing to see God in your day, which only depends on His presence. We go from just reacting to whatever happens to declaring victory before the day even gets going. So, what's the end result when you put all 5 of these Psalms into practice? It's a total transformation in your posture. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances, constantly reacting to things, to walking as an agent of purpose, responding to life with real spiritual authority. And these are the tangible results, the things that really start to change. When you do this every day, your mind gets trained to stop defaulting to worst-case scenarios. Your spirit finds this new steadiness, even when things get shaky. You stop just surviving, and you actually start walking in your purpose. You begin responding to life with authority instead of anxiety. And that brings us to the most important part of all, actually doing it. So let's make this super simple, super actionable. Here is a clear challenge for you, starting tomorrow morning. Here it is, just 3 simple steps. First, before you even think about grabbing your phone, just resist, don't scroll. Second, read these 5 Psalms, 5, 23, 91, 27, and 118. And if you can, speak them out loud. And third, consciously let God's word be the very first voice you hear. Let it set the tone for everything else that follows. So I'll just leave you with this one last question to think about. When you wake up tomorrow, whose voice is going to define your morning? Will it be the noise of the world, your own anxious thoughts, or the voice of God? The choice and the victory, it all begins right there.